everyone. I'm City Councilman Frank Morano. Happy Friday to everybody. And for those of you that are Orthodox, wishing you a terrific Easter weekend. You ever have someone tell you they love you, but you don't quite feel it? I think a lot of us have been there. That's kind of where Staten Island is right now with Mayor Zohran Mamdani after his first 100 days, which we're commemorating this weekend. According to report after report in the Staten Island Advance and others, the mayor says he loves Staten Island. He loves that we're part of the 5 boroughs. He even gave us a shout out for the Wu-Tang Clan and for Sri Lankan food, which is nice. But here's the thing. Staten Islanders aren't looking for Yelp reviews. We're looking for results. Because so far, the love hasn't exactly shown up where it counts. Take universal child care. It was supposed to be universal, except it skipped Staten Island. That's not universal. It's not universal by a long shot. It's totally selective. Then you've got the snowstorm. First major blizzard in years, and Staten Island got hit with what felt like the junior varsity snow response. If we can't plow the streets properly, what are we doing? And by the way, made it so that everybody had to go to school, even though people couldn't get off their streets and we couldn't take the train because the trains were suspended. Even though I and almost every other Staten Island elected official and countless principals told them, please close schools. Then there's the homeless shelter plan on the South Shore in my district, something the previous administration backed off of. Now it's back. Again, no love there. And look, this isn't just me saying it. You've got Democrats, Republicans, people across the board saying the same thing. Staten Island feels overlooked. This has nothing to do with ideology. It's reality. Now, to be fair, and I always try to be fair, the mayor does have some positives. Seems like a nice guy. I don't think he's a crook. I don't think he's putting money in his pocket, which is more than you could say for some other recent mayors we've had. And in New York politics, sadly, that counts for something. And he's also shown a willingness to work with people like the president and the governor, even when they don't agree. And I think that's a good thing. And that's more than we could say for recent mayors as well. But here's the problem. You don't get graded based on personality in this job. You get graded on performance. And right now, the performance isn't there. We're seeing problems with the basic things government should be able to handle: snow removal, childcare, public safety, housing. These aren't abstract policy debates. These are day-to-day quality of life issues. And when those things aren't working, people notice. That's why you're seeing poll numbers where more than half of Staten Islanders already have an unfavorable view of this administration. And honestly, that shouldn't surprise anyone, because what people are feeling is pretty simple. They feel like they're not being listened to. That's how I feel as a city councilman. I asked the mayor back in, I guess it was January, please meet with us. Let's maybe, I remember it was right after we had our triple whammy of the snowstorm response, the being left out of the universal child care, which, by the way, we found out about when the mayor was at the podium, by the way. He didn't even give us a heads up. And the homeless shelter, like bing, bang, boom, right after another. I guess maybe it's about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I said, Mayor, please, let's get your relationship with Staten Island back on track. Let me have a meeting with you. Either just me or the whole Staten Island delegation. Got back to me within a day and said, yeah, let's do that. That was over a month ago. I'm not a hard guy to get a hold of. And still no meeting. And even when I heard he was on Staten Island, I said, Mayor, please, let's meet for a quick cup of coffee or something, just so I could plead our case. Nothing. So what I'm feeling is what Staten Islanders are feeling. We feel like we're not being listened to. We feel like decisions are being made for us, not with us. And they, meaning the rest of Staten Islanders, in my opinion, once again feel like an afterthought. Now, I said in the Staten Island Advance article that came out on Friday, and I'll say it again here, if I had to give the mayor a grade for his first 100 days, it's probably somewhere in the D- range, not an F. And here's why. Because there's still time. Even though he's trying to raise taxes, even though he's trying to do all sorts of things that are deleterious to the city, there's still time. This is a tough job. It's a complicated city. Nobody expects perfection. But people do expect effort, attention, competence. And most importantly, they expect to feel like they matter. Right now, a lot of Staten Islanders don't feel that way. Right now, a lot of Staten Islanders feel like we're totally left out, forgotten once again. And until that changes, all the talk about love isn't going to mean very much, because in New York, and especially on Staten Island, we've got a pretty simple philosophy. Don't tell us you love us, show us. Thank you.